Hey there everyone, back today with another impressions video. And this one is a little late in the coming, I guess, because this game has been out since last year. But I just finished it recently, so it's kind of timely for everyone. But what we're talking about today is the upside down Fire Emblem. This is Fire Emblem Awakening on the Nintendo 3DS. And it's timely because it just came out in the US for everyone, so if you want to buy it, you absolutely can. Unless you live in Europe, then you have to wait another month or two. Sorry, Europeans. But anyway, let's uh, let's talk about this game, Fire Emblem. So Fire Emblem, it's a pretty old series. I mean, it's been out since the Famicom. Everybody pretty much knows how it goes. It's a strategy RPG, and the main thing that people kind of really remember from Fire Emblem is that when your characters die in battle, they die forever. They're gone. And I think I really like that kind of part of the game. It makes the things a bit more, I don't know, tense. I guess I'd want to say it's the kind of thing where if you have if you have characters you care about, you will restart the mission every time. And what the game does is make you care about the characters. And I say that in a kind of uh, it makes you care about the characters you use, I guess. Um, by the end of the game, I had about I didn't count or anything, but 30 or 40 characters. I don't even know. A big screen of characters, and a lot of them I never used. So, I'd get them, save them from somebody, or find them on a map somewhere, or they'd be introduced as part of the story. And, they just didn't fit into my strategy, or they didn't fit into the party I was using. I had someone who was better already, or I didn't care about the class that they were, or whatever. So I just never used those people. And that'll be important later on when I talk about the story. But for now, generally it makes you care about the characters you use, which is, a good combination with the if the character dies, they're gone forever, because it makes you really think about what you're doing and makes you want to keep everybody alive. Unlike other strategy RPGs where if somebody dies, they're just kind of knocked out and they'll come back. But this game actually does have the option to play it that way, but I wouldn't suggest playing it that way the first time around because it's not the true Fire Emblem experience. So if you're playing, play on classic, please. But anyway, Fire Emblem. So this game, it's not incredibly long. It took about 20 hours or so to beat, maybe 20, a little more than 20 hours, I think. And there's 26 total story missions, I guess. But there's a lot of kind of side missions also that are. I don't remember how many there are. I'm not even sure I know. I think there's 20 or plus downloadable missions. But the thing with those is that in each playthrough you have they're unlocked under certain conditions. You'll find that on one playthrough you can't unlock all the side quests. It's probably not possible unless I couldn't think of a way where it would be possible unless you're like really grinding the kind of social links in the game. So that's the point is that each character has a kind of link with the other characters, a kind of link ranked from C, B, A, and S. And C, B, and A is your standard like friendship levels, and if you reach S with somebody, they'll automatically get married. So you have like these kind of social links going on with the characters, which is another dynamic. But a lot of the kind of conditions to unlock some of the side quests are to have some character reach S rank. And a lot of times you won't be able to do that with all the characters, so you won't be able to unlock all of the same missions in the same playthrough. So it does add a bit of a replay value because no matter how many times, well, I mean, eventually you could unlock them all, but it would probably take 2 or 3 playthroughs to unlock all of the side missions that you wanted to play, because it's just hard to get the social links up to S for a lot of people in one playthrough. I mean, So in my case, I didn't even get anybody up to S until almost almost the 20th mission out of the 26 total for the story. So it was kind of, right way towards the end for me. So I'm not sure, other people might get them faster, but I wasn't really paying attention to it that much. But yeah, so there are kind of social links in the game that they each come with, like, each rank up will give you a little kind of character interaction scene that you'll get between each character, which is, interesting. It's not it's not incredibly in depth though. If you're expecting like social link levels like Persona, it's not that in depth. And the thing is that the ending is a very kind of like shades of Persona 3, but lacks the kind of emotional impact that Persona 3 had, because of what I'm saying earlier, in that like all of the characters will come out, but you have no connection to some of them because you just never use them. And it kind of makes the it makes the final impact of the story not as impactful, because it's like getting words of encouragement or something from people who don't you have no kind of relation to in the game. I like when I was there at the end, like it'll cycle through all the characters that you've talked to, and I totally forgot about some of them, even though they were in my list like the entire game. I just never used them. So it was the kind of thing where, like, who is this guy? Which kind of weakens the impact of the ending. But I'm trying to be spoiler free here. I'm not trying not to give any spoilers to what happens. I'm not gonna ruin the game for you, but the social linking thing is you know straight up from the beginning, so you'll understand. But how about the story? The story is at least interesting. It takes place about a couple thousand years past like the other games. Maybe 1,000 years. I can't remember in the story if it actually tells you how many thousands of years past the previous story it is, but I think it might be 2 or 3. And but there are some like little nods to the other games in the series. Like you'll find like Roy's sword or something, or you'll find like some other characters like from previous Fire Emblems. You'll find weapons that are named after them, and they're like some kind of special weapon you can find. And you also there's you know some pretty, I won't ruin it, but there are some pretty like story elements that are connected to the previous games, including names of characters and things that are the same, well, for some period of time. And of course the final boss also is a kind of a blast from the past, I guess. But um what else am I forgetting about? There are some online elements. I guess you can fight people uh online in the 3DS. Not like, I mean, probably local people. I don't know if you can do it online or not, but maybe you could just do it through friend codes. I don't really know, but I have not tried it out. I don't have anybody who has Fire Emblem on my 3DS, so there's no testing that for me. There are a lot of downloadable contents, I guess. There's a lot, like more than 25 or so downloadable missions, and they're all about $3 or $4 each. So I haven't downloaded any of those, and I don't intend to, because they're expensive, and I don't really care enough about extra characters that I probably won't use. And plus I didn't even unlock all the characters in my first playthrough. When I went through the first time, I didn't even unlock all the characters, so I still have a ton to unlock from just the normal game. So even if you don't want to download anything, you're probably okay with just playing through, and you could probably play through the game a couple times and still keep unlocking characters. So it's not that much of an issue. So what else? I'm trying to think of what have I not talked about. The basic gameplay, I guess I haven't talked about. It's strategy RPG, and it's turn-based, and each character has there's a kind of rock paper scissors type of element to the weaponry and the magic that you have. So, you know, there's axes and spears and swords, and they each have like a kind of which one is better than the other. So you'll have bonuses if you're attacking against the weaker one out of the kind of rock paper scissors elements. But then also you have special attacks and kind of special abilities for each character, which you can kind of customize by switching classes, which is unlimited in this Fire Emblem. So you can switch classes as many times as you want and get as many abilities as you want, as long as you still have stuff to fight in the game, which is pretty good considering like how powerful you can get. You could probably max out a character if you really worked at it, and a maxed out character would be like pretty beastly in this game. You would just be ripping through people. So in my case, actually, I nearly maxed out Donnie, or he's Donnie in the Japanese one, but I guess his name is Donald in the American release. But he's the villager that uses the log in the kind of previews that they showed for the game. But after the villager, he became like the strongest character I had. I changed his class about 3 times and maxed it out each time. And he by the end he was like by far the strongest character in my party. Yeah, he could one shot pretty much everything. Bosses he was one shotting. So it was kind of, he was way overpowered. So it was, you can, if you work at it, you can make a really strong party as long as you fight all the optional battles, which appear randomly on the map. So if when you clear a stage, there'll be a random chance for a kind of extra battle to show up on the map, and also for special shops to show up on the map, and they'll sell like stronger weapons or have sales on stuff that's to make it cheaper. So it's pretty cool to come across the kind of random elements in the game. But otherwise, that's about all. The music is okay. I didn't find it to be like incredibly great, but I didn't find it to be bad either. There were some points where I was thinking like, this sounds like Mass Effect 3 music, and that like during some of the battles it was like Mass Effect-ish music, I thought, and that was kind of strange. But it otherwise it's pretty non-intrusive, but it's not anything I'm like really looking into like getting a soundtrack for or anything. It's passable. And the 3D actually looks really good. Is another thing that I should mention. That usually I don't use the 3D on my 3DS because I usually get a headache from it, but I used the 3D for a bit of Fire Emblem, and it looks pretty good. It doesn't really like, it's not incredibly intrusive or anything like in some games. So, I'm trying to think. There's a Street Pass functionality also, but I haven't had anybody playing Fire Emblem near me to get any kind of Street Passes from it yet. Maybe they'll show up eventually, but for now I've got nothing, so I can't really comment on that either. But yeah, so Fire Emblem, that's about it. Can't think of anything else that I wanted to mention. The characters are pretty good. The story is alright, and lots of throwbacks to previous Fire Emblems, which is nice for fans of the series, I guess. If this is your first Fire Emblem, it's not like a thing you'll worry about. You just won't notice that they're mentioning something from a previous Fire Emblem. So it's not necessary. It's just kind of a nice kind of nod to fans of previous games. But yeah, anyway, that's basically my impressions of Fire Emblem. Do I suggest you buy it? Yes, it's very good. It's not perfect. I wouldn't say it's perfect, and I think a lot of the story like, it's really based on the kind of social elements. It's a real strong element in this game, except the ending kind of doesn't have the impact that I think it should have because of the amount of characters that are in the game, and that the amount that you don't kind of function with, you don't even have any kind of contact with. So that kind of thing is really one of my only complaints. It's a great strategy RPG, and Fire Emblem is a great series, so definitely pick up Fire Emblem Awakening. So I guess that's all I gotta say. I guess this ran a little long, and it's kind of rambly because I'm just doing it off the top of my head, as all of these videos are done. So yeah, if you have any more questions, just comment below or whatever. Want to tell me about how you liked it or how you think I'm an idiot or whatever? Comment below. I don't care. So anyway, I will catch you guys next time.